The city of Abuja is not necessarily regarded as a city for startup entrepreneurs, but all that is changing with the likes of Abuja Technology Village, Box Office Incubator, Venture Platform, and many other incubators providing physical space and infrastructure that startups require to turn their ideas into viable businesses. Kola Aina, founder, Ventures Platform, joins us to discuss issues around the ecosystem and some of the challenges facing this model of entrepreneurship.
Building a community in Abuja 1 year after, how's the journey been?
Well, it's been an amazing journey so far. I mean, when we started out, we had big ambitions, but I would say we're very excited that the Abuja community has received us well. When we look at the numbers of people in the community today within our co-working space, and the fact that we've graduated one cohort of 7 companies, and we just took in a second cohort all within our first year. I mean, we're extremely happy, and we're grateful to God for because He makes all things possible. It's been an amazing ride.
In terms of numbers, how many people are actively part of this community?
We have about 175 co-workers that are here on average any day. These are freelancers or companies that work out of the park, like Uber, like Reboots, companies, American companies, local companies, freelancers, graphic designers, startups. So at any given time, we have about 170 people working within the park. At any given time as well, we have about 18 people living in the park. So we have some entrepreneurs that also live within the community, use the gym facilities, and work in the park. In terms of the start companies we've invested in, up to date, we've invested in about 14 companies. Now, these companies on average have about 2 or 3 founders and have go on to employ maybe another 4 or 5 people. So I mean, it's the spiral effect of that is really something we're yet to reconcile. We also have events that thousands of people have benefited from, and so we're really amazed at the impact, and I think we've just begun, and so we're excited to see what happens next.
Kola, Abuja is seen as a zone for contractors.
Yeah.
Why are you building a community in the heart of Abuja? Well,
primarily because we believe that a community that relies on rent is really not sustainable, and we've seen that. Last year we suffered the recession, the height of the recession, and I mean, tons of companies that were not really sustainable had to shut down. What we believe is that young people, when given the right environment and empowered, can truly build amazing solutions that can then become sustainable businesses. Now, since we opened, we've seen that happen. In Benue, in Niger State, in Kano, we're seeing tech communities spring up. We're seeing young people building solutions. I mean, it's amazing the volume of applications. For our new cohort, we got about 900 applications from Nigeria and outside Nigeria.
These are all ideas.
These are all different companies, guys trying to solve problems in payment, in healthcare. So we think that it's amazing what people can do when empowered, and I think Ventures is really been an experiment in proving that as a reality.
Like, it's amazing. Why don't we have local investors investing in the ecosystem?
That's really a very sad state of affairs. What we found is that there's more talk than action. There's very few people that actually write checks in Nigeria, and it's really unfortunate because I mean, we have quite a number of HNIs and private individuals that have done really well. I mean, we all respect Dangote, we all respect the Jimovias, we all respect the, all those that have done really well. We believe that if we can get what we like to call the big money bags, the older guys, to support the early stage innovation, to invest in our funds, to support our startups. Because the truth of the matter is, a startup can have the best idea, but if they run out of money, they're dead. Now, what we find is there's much more foreign participation and much more foreign interest. It's amazing. So before you know it, all our great companies are going to be owned by foreign investors. So the reality is we're seeing more foreign investors put their money where their mouth is. There's a lot of talk locally, and we think government too has a role to play. We have a sovereign wealth fund. We've been challenging government to say, look, if the sovereign wealth fund just took 5% or 2% of its fund and said, look, we will back local VCs and accelerators, that will make a huge impact.
You know, Tony Elumelu is doing stuff, so we must commend him.
Yes.
But Oxfam released a report that people like Dangote and Adenuga can actually end poverty in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Now, how can we get them to have some sort of comfort within the tech ecosystem?
Well, I think it starts with not duplicating and recreating wheels. I think it's very important that when HNIs or institutions want to intervene, they take a look at what is already happening. How can we support the existing players and the accelerators as opposed to just trying to reinvent new wheels? Even with government today has so many activities going on, and we think those things can be better organized and consolidated to actually channel those resources to those that are actually working with the startups and with the companies. Now, the Oxfam report you referenced is spot on. We have enough resources within this country to solve our problems. But unfortunately, we're used to the old ways of making money, real estate, oil and gas. Well, oil and gas is sort of dying out now, but we think that, we believe very strongly that entrepreneurs that leverage technology are the solution rather to Africa's problems. And until we support those guys, we would not move forward as a continent.
Share with me some of your challenges, because obviously this is not a walk in the park.
Yeah.
It must be challenging.
Yes.
What are those challenges?
Well, I would say, I mean, one of the biggest challenges we have is on the infrastructure side. As you know, we operate about 3 entities. The first entity is the co-working, co-living campus, the first of which is Ventures Park here in Abuja. The biggest challenge there is infrastructure. So I'm talking power. We have to have 24/7 electricity, because when you're in tech, you're on the internet all the time, and we currently run on diesel generators. It's killing. That's the biggest challenge we have at the moment. The other challenge is the price of bandwidth. I mean, when you have a campus of about 150 people, everyone pulling bandwidth at the same time, it gets very difficult and very expensive. And that's been a big challenge for us. Now, in the accelerator, which is Ventures Platform, which is where we invest in companies, I would say the biggest challenge has really been participation of local investors. We haven't seen the levels of local participation that we would have expected, and it's really unfortunate. And then finally, I would say the quality and commitment of founders. Nigerian founders are amazing, but we continue to challenge them to raise their ambition and be much more ambitious. There's huge opportunity out there, and I think our founders just need to raise the level of their ambition and be a lot more ballsy.
The Indian Prime Minister said about $1 billion to help raise the next level of startups. Have you received any financial support from the government?
Zero, nothing. We haven't received no financial support. I mean, look, they've been extremely friendly and supportive of what we're doing here at Ventures, but we haven't received 1 naira or $1 of support from the government. And, you know, it would be nice if it happened. I mean, we are privately funding this with the help of some investors as well as local, foreign investors, but we are yet to receive any support from government, and we certainly look forward to it. We think a starting point perhaps is the Sovereign Wealth Fund. We think that will go a long way in helping the startup ecosystem.
Finally, Kola, in terms of the numbers, at the end of the day, what do you think that Ventures Platform will be able to achieve for startups in Abuja and out of Abuja?
Already, we've invested in 14 companies within our accelerator program. Our goal really, as we say, is to build companies that can achieve $1 billion valuation. And we think that's possible. Already we're seeing our cohort 1 companies raise follow-on rounds. They're doing very well in terms of revenue. We're excited that with this cohort, we now have even some foreign companies that want to do business in Nigeria. We have a startup with a founder out of Belgium. We have a startup from Cameroon. And so in terms of numbers, we believe that we would build $1 billion company in no time. Now, in terms of people, that's just been mind-blowing. I mean, already all our programs have impacted we believe an excess of 10,000 people in terms of the training programs we do, our co-workers, and our virtual programming. And that will continue to expand. We have plans to expand our campuses around the continent, and you know, we're truly excited for what the future holds, and we would be very happy to travel with as many people as want to join us.
Wish you all the best. Thank you for being on Tech Trends today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We've come to the end of today's show. Do follow us on social media, and don't forget, you can watch these and previous editions of the show on the channel's TV YouTube account or via my blog cfatech.ng. For Tech Trends, I am Chukwuemeka Agbata.